Issue 2: Racism in sport. Racism is a well-known problem that is everywhere in many sports, particularly football. Racism has been a major part of football for many years now. It started to develop into a huge problem in the 1970s and 80s. Black professionals faced vast amounts of racism, from chanting to banana skins being thrown at them. They had it all. In the 1970s, there were very little black or ethnic players, referees, coaches, or managers in the FA. Almost half a century later, this issue has failed to be stopped. In fact, it has worsened. Some examples of this are: there's a former Manchester City captain called Vincent Kompany who claims that his quote is that it's a lack of diversity in football organisations that is part of the problem in tackling racism. Race and religious hate crimes have increased across England and Wales. A lot of this is beginning with football. These racist acts can take place in person or online via social media. Charlton Athletic striker Lyle Taylor has explained that he has had people sending him messages and bananas. It's a bit ridiculous, really, to be compared to an animal because of the colour of your skin. He believes that the only way to beat racism is to use education to tackle the root cause and to look at where racism and how it starts. Statistics show that last season, major racism incidents in English football alone have risen by 43%, from 192 to 274 incidents in a single season. One last example of racism in football is in Italy, where many Serie A players have started to receive racism whilst doing their job. They're getting paid just to receive abuse because of the colour of their skin. Even children as young as 12 in Italy are receiving racism whilst playing football. Another example of racism in football was when Brighton fans got arrested for racial abuse towards Tottenham players recently. The final example of racism in football is when England played Bulgaria very recently, and the Bulgarian fans were chanting racist slurs, and England players reportedly almost walked away from the game. It was so bad. Within a couple of days after the match, the Bulgarian manager resigned due to the disgrace that was the match. Racism in football to these extents is causing chaos because there are constantly people getting arrested, banned, in fights, and much more, to the point where it is seeming as if it is beyond help. Things have changed, but for the worse, because it's becoming more and more common in football, and players are getting highly offended by it since it's their job to work. So they work just to receive high levels of abuse because of the colour of their skin. There's been a change in a negative way because of the clash of cultures between fans, such as for some people it's what they grew up with, and for others it's not right at all. And when they clash, they start causing big issues. There is many campaigns that are attempting to force racism out of football, but whilst they are gradually making a difference, they do not really have a huge effect on it. Therefore, the amount of racism being pulled into football is ahead of the amount being kicked out, which is why there's so many growingly big problems with racism in football. One of these campaigns is Respect. Respect is trying to remove racism from football, but still it continues. I recommend harsher punishments for racism in football, such as a short prison sentence for a few months. Punishments need to be this harsh purely because of how out of hand this issue has become. It's become more frequent and more severe, and it's happening quicker. In conclusion, I think that racism in football is completely out of hand and should have much stricter ruling and harsher punishment in an attempt to wipe it out of the sport completely, including sport in general, not just football. Although in football it is one of the biggest problems out of all sports because of how many players receive abuse and feel like they want to stop their job just because of it.